get started now. Freedom, 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 freedom. My freedom begins at Life Force Canada.
Welcome to Life Force Canada. I'm Karen Klassen, and I'm grateful to all of you who enjoy seeing my smile on the speaker view. Love to you. The Predator class does not want our towns or counties making their own laws that protect informed consent. All we need to do is reclaim our town authority, our county authority. As each county takes back their authority, you reclaim then your provincial authority. This is about you reclaiming your own authority, because that's where it all begins. You becoming your own power of attorney. So taking back our power in any town or county right now means that you have to know how to take your own power back in your life first. And so that is going to be really key moving forward. So yes, it all starts with you. It's so important to look at all those areas of our life where we're giving our power away. We give our power away in areas of our relationship, in our finances, our health, and our career. When we allow outside authority to dictate how we live, we give our power away. And when we do this, what happens? We can feel powerless. Many are feeling powerless when it comes to money. And that is our topic this evening. Well, it's much more than money. It's prosperity mindset. You see, the controllers of this realm know how universal principles work, and many of the people do not know, and they keep it from them. So I'm going to present my prosperity mindset. And the reason is that there was a few people who are upset about, I would say, all the different freedom movements right now are seeking donations. And you've probably seen this, when you're on social media or you're seeing it in your inbox. There's so many freedom movements, not just in Canada, but across this realm. And many people are really lashing out at the freedom movements for asking for money. So I thought it was a really good time to clear all of this up. And I just want everyone here to know, first of all, that there is no paid staff at Life Force Canada. We put countless hours and time into volunteering. We've spent thousands of dollars to make it happen, to be here and create this foundation that we have. So I think what I'm about to say is really going to apply to every freedom movement. Two things either happen. This is where either we are open to receiving donations and continue to do our awesome work that we just love to do, or we need to pull the plug because we cannot sustain this if we do not receive money. If the freedom movement stop receiving money, they will not be able to move forward and assist and support and educate and share knowledge. It costs money every single month. And it is now a full-time job for myself here at Life Force Canada. It's a full-time job for Laura Jane and Karen Hanna. And we volunteer so much time. And so does Sandra Quinn, right? It's a lot of energy every single day, and we still have other commitments. Karen has a farm. I have a mother to look after. Plus, I have coaching clients as well. And Laura Jane has another business on the side as well. So today, I just wanted to share how we all can really benefit by stepping into having a prosperous mindset. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen. Prosperity mindset. Let's breathe these words in. The word prosperity can really evoke diverse reactions. Some believe in prosperity that borders on greed, while others embrace a life of prosperity. We all have certain ideas and attitudes and core beliefs, emotional patterns, and that limit really our experience of prosperity. Now, to create the new earth where we're going and take back our towns, our freedom, our unalienable rights, we all must have a prosperous mindset. So let us begin. Okay, so the next 40 minutes or so, I'm going to be covering what the definition of prosperity is, different types of prosperity, what your beliefs are around money, what money truly is, the freedom frequency chart, your true source of prosperity, and then prosperity affirmations. Prosperity is defined as a successful, flourishing, thriving condition, especially in financial respects. It means good fortune, prosperous circumstances, and a contented state of being happy and healthy. The word prosperity probably brings up thoughts of money. However, there's really a lot more to living in prosperity than how much money you have in your bank account. One can experience prosperity in many different areas, such as emotional prosperity. So this is when you have a deep-rooted sense of peace and joy in your everyday life without relying on financial means to bring you that joy. Then there's physical prosperity, taking great care of your body to attain a vibrant health and wellness. Mental prosperity. This is about being a lifelong learner, like all of you are, continually sharpening your skills and caring for your mental health and well-being. Then there's financial prosperity, having financial security or not having to rely on a job, spouse, friend, relative, the government, or anyone else for money. Okay, just really breathe that in. Spiritual prosperity, feeling connected to your unique personal experience of source. Material prosperity is having things or possessions of quality. And then I just added in this quote, a country's future prosperity depends to an extent upon the quality of education of its people. That is so true. So financial wealth offers a security in the material world, yet if you do not have emotional prosperity, right, a deep sense of personal purpose, that well-being, you are then robbed of the opportunity to fully enjoy the material prosperity. And that's really key to have an understanding of. Okay, let's look at negative beliefs about money. Your beliefs about money are formed, from many things, from the television that we watch, movies, your family members, friends, society we live in. And you may also have a collective belief or thoughts about money from your own experience. But these beliefs aren't always the best ones right here. In fact, they are really toxic and they can really limit you from what you're here to experience. So the first one, there isn't enough money to go around. So this might be a thought that swirls in your mind from time to time. It's very limiting because it's reasons that there isn't enough money for everyone in the world, that money is finite, and that you can't have too much of it. And this belief can stop you from thinking you can earn more. It may also make you think that something will prevent you from achieving more. So let me ask a question. Have you noticed that people who complain and have a negative feeling towards money never have enough money? The next one is, I don't deserve to have money. This negative belief centers on you thinking that you're not good enough to receive money. or that you don't deserve it, right? This is so not true. Having money is selfish. Sometimes people think the rich are evil. In actuality, there are nice, rich people out there in the world. And then of course, there are mean ones. Just like everything else. There's poor people who are very unkind, and there's poor people who are very kind. So again, having money is not selfish. You can still be generous and help others if you have money. Maybe even more so, right? So cash on its own doesn't do anything. It's what you decide to do with it that counts, right? Wanting more money is greedy. This limiting belief reasons you shouldn't want to have more money because it means you're greedy. But there is, in fact, enough money to go around, and you having more doesn't stop anyone else from having money. It isn't greedy. It's good to want to be successful in life. Money can help you do a lot of great things. And I've heard this one quite often. Money is the root of all evil. This expression is so inaccurate. And actually, what it means is for the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Meaning that allowing money to become your most valued possession can negatively charge you. But that doesn't mean that money is bad. You can also have money and be generous and kind, right? As I mentioned earlier. I know so many wealthy people who are very generous and they do very good deeds in their community. You know, having money means I will have more problems. That is so not true. Money is hard to get. So not true. I am not good with money. So not true. That's where education is key. Money causes stress. Again, these are limited beliefs. If I have too much money, I lose my values. That just means you're not really rooted in your values to begin with. So everyone believes something about money. It can be harmful, can be positive, or a mix of both. So if you think any of the above toxic beliefs apply to you, it's really time for a change. Like all the wise men and women know, money is not just a piece of paper as to how the majority of society thinks. Money is a pure form of energy. Therefore, it is true that the higher the energy frequency of money that we all have, the more will attract prosperity into our lives, regardless of our current condition. So here I want you to, from this day forward, is just exchange the word money for energy. See money as energy, because that's really all it is. And why is that? Well, since everything is energy, right? It's a frequency. Energy doesn't lie, and it can't be destroyed or created. It can only move from one place to another, as it's always in motion all the time. Since we are now aware that money is energy, a frequency, I'm going to show you the freedom frequency chart. So many students and my clients, they know this chart very well. If you've read my book, it's on page 26. This chart here, and the reason I'm sharing it is because everything below the line in the middle there is perceived negative emotions and qualities. So you're going to see stress, frustration, worry, feeling unappreciated, exhausted. There's going to be deception there, hate, suffering, uncertainty. And then you're going to see lack. So everything below the line that you see is what is known as fear-based consciousness. Above the line is everything that we yearn for, we want more of in life. And this is trust, compassion, courage, truth, right? To play again, to really allow ourselves to grow and to experience oneness. And if you look below the line to the left, you'll see that Not only is everything below the line fear-based consciousness, it also symbolizes the third dimensional reality of darkness, where the ego resides. The inner demons, we've heard shadow aspects of ourselves. These are all fallen thought forms, and what some consider hell as well. And of course, if we're spiraling up towards life. And if we're spiraling downwards, we're spiraling down towards death. Everything above the line is considered to be in the frequency of freedom frequency, otherwise known as love, light, soul, higher self. This is where source resides, God, universe, whatever name you have for it. This is where the true thought forms. This is where you, the true higher self of you, resides, and what we refer to as heaven. So you've heard me say many times that we're creating heaven on earth. This is what it all encompasses. This is the true aspect of life, right? So when we really begin to have an understanding of the words that we use and the words that we feel, the words that we put out into the universe, all resonate at certain frequencies. And if we look here in fear-based consciousness, wealth is not there, right? It resides above the line. We all are doing our best to experience more of that energy above the line, because that is where we're going. This 3D reality that we're in right now is where the mind control is, below the line. This is the illusionary world. The true reality is everything above the line. And so everything above the line is the true prosperity. And it's just really important to remember this. And everything below the line, again, is the programming. It keeps us thinking that we are here to live small lives, to be small, to not speak up, to allow ourselves to just shrink. And no, we are here to shine, right? We are here to be so bright. Most people think that money is pursued, but in reality, it is not the case. The controllers of this reality have so many people believing that they need to have a job, and it's part of the program now, that we need to work not just 9 to 5, but sometimes 9 to 7, whatever it is, very long hours to labor for money. And this is so not true. So we're going to be deprogramming. We're going to be unprogramming ourselves. We're going to be peeling layers of the onion as we move forward, so that we begin to see the power inside of us and how we can co-create this new earth from a place of prosperity. So what brings money is creativity. It's having an abundant mindset. Again, money is pure energy, and it's attracted to you, to me, to everyone, even when we're not working. It can be constantly flowing to us when we're in that creative energy. So are you aware of how many times you see things outside of yourselves as your source of supply? The truth is, source, God, universe is your only supplier. Breathe this statement in deeply. Your job is not your supplier. Other people are not your supplier. They are channels through which you receive that supply. Therefore, your results potential is so limitless. So those who have a lot of money are abundant in money. Those who have little money are abundant in the amount of space to realize money and the opportunity to receive it. So let me repeat, everything outside of you, your job, your credit, your bills, your lifestyle, the economy, all of that is a platform for you to realize your abundance. And you will only align with it when you are energetically vibrating above the line. It's shifting your belief system is really what it is. You are on the journey of letting all of that stressful, fear-inducing thought patterns and step into a state of inner peace and to really connect with the abundance that lives inside of you. So this means that everything that is causing you stress is actually here to help you. So what do I mean by that? If you're stressed about your mortgage, remember, we live in an abundant reality. We live in a universal law called law of attraction, law of abundance. The universe is kind, it's always assisting you in so many ways. And so if you're stressing about your mortgage, the universe, God, source, does not want you to be stressed. So the universe will come to you and assist you. And sometimes that assistance can be what you do not want. But again, it's the best thing for you because it's releasing stress. So if your mortgage is calling you stress, the universe will remove your house so you don't have to pay for it. Do you see what I mean? So it's really important to become aware of your mindset right now because we're moving from 3D to 45D. And that means that manifestations are going to be instantaneous. That's how powerful you are. And the controllers know how powerful you are. That's why they're creating so much money stress in the economy, so much stress out there, because they know that you're going to be manifesting immediately. So it's important to keep our thoughts high. Discover the universe that lives inside of you. This is the inner journey that we're all on right now. Many of you are probably aware of Shakti Gowan. She was the author of Creative Visualization and Living in the Light. She's got many books, actually. And one of her great quotes says, "Since money is energy, our financial affairs tend to reflect how our life energy is moving. When your creative energy is flowing freely, often your finances are as well. If your energy is blocked, your money does too." It's becoming aware of the frequency, the energy, the emotional charge that you have wrapped around money, wrapped around prosperity, and to really start doing that inner work. Yes, money does not make you happy. If that were true, no rich person would ever commit suicide. Money buys you what you need and offers comfort and security. It is what you can do with money that makes you happy. If I haven't said it enough, we live in an abundant universe. Wallace Walton stated, "There is an abundance of opportunity for the man and woman who will go with the tide instead of trying to swim against it. The visible supply is practically inexhaustible, and the invisible supply really is inexhaustible." I've found that many people focus on what they can get from any given situation. And when we're focused on what we can get, we're always in that take energy or the get frequency, which is actually a frequency of scarcity. And so it's really becoming aware of our thoughts, because you want to bring your frequency above the line to where your thoughts are one of increase. We are here to be moving into more. You are here to move into the expansive reality that is here. This is a great quote by James Wilson. Money is nothing more than an energy source that is attracted by both positive and negative energy. Learn to attract more positive energy into your life from all directions and stop focusing on the little things like money. And you'll be amazed how money starts to stick to you like a magnet. It's mostly those who think about money 24/7 that live and die broke. So the key for abundance is to find all those areas in your life where your emotional state has been compromised and really begin to clean it up, right? We clean it up by taking responsibility for everything that is currently in our life, right? Being honest with ourselves. So true prosperity is not something that we create overnight. In fact, it's not a fixed goal, a place where we finally arrive. It's not certain states that we're going to someday achieve. It's an ongoing process of finding fulfillment that continues to really just unfold in your life. So looking back at the freedom frequency chart, we are on the path where everything below the line begins to dissolve. We are here to relinquish all fear that limits us. And as we begin to dissolve the illusion, the mind control program, we begin to then be above the line, and then that's really all that exists. We are then in that realm of pure love, the realm of enlightenment, where we allowed ourselves to lighten up emotionally, to truly connect to our divine mind, to our own divine nature. So these are some affirmations that are really powerful, that you can say to yourself every single day, or maybe find your own. The money I spend enriches the world and comes back to me multiplied. So true. I am worthy of receiving all the abundance, prosperity, and wealth the universe is ready to bless me with. And then, of course, gratitude. Having gratitude is that door that opens you up into abundance. We are all sovereign and we all have a choice. It's remembering that there are things in life that are going to be serving your soul, whether it's a service or a product, that is going to be empowering you, inspiring you, educating you, loving you, and bringing you to your highest version of yourself. And then there's other products and services that are below the line that are not here to spiral you up. They're here and designed to keep you below the line. I'm not saying you're not allowed to have wine. It's really acknowledging, why do you have the belief that you need that product? So again, there's going to be in every moment opportunities as you move forward where you get to make a very wise choice. And you can say to yourself, is this thing I'm about to buy, is it going to empower me or is it going to disempower me? And again, it is truly up to you moving forward. Okay, we're just going to move into open forum Q&A. If you have any questions, if in regards to having a prosperous mindset, what is it that you do that you can want to share with others? So I know you're all brilliant men and women. Hello, Sherry.
Hi, Karen. I just wanted to kind of pop in and affirm what you said about the freedom movement, and it needs to be funded. And we pay for everything else. We don't get free healthcare. You know,
Yes.
we literally pay for everything else. So we have the illusion that we get these things for free, but when there's something really important, we do have to pay and we do have to invest in it. And just as a little bit of a cautionary thing, I actually had to move away from doing volunteer work from Life Force Canada because I actually needed to bring in income. And so unless we start to fund good people, there's a limitation to, I think, the level of volunteer work you can do without, you know, having a certain amount of income coming in. And the more Karen and other people give to Life Force, it's just a, you know, no matter how abundant they are in their mindset, they also have, you know, a limitation of hours of what they can commit to and still engage in self-care. One thing, I'll give a little shout out to Karen's course, post a little picture of a bit of art that I did based on her course. And, you know, it's hard to give you know, tangible testimonials to sometimes to courses like that, because it actually can take months for the work to sink in and manifest. But I did notice a big shift in January. I moved from where I was primarily operating out of fear. And I did move into a lot more gratitude, a lot more prayer, gratitude within my prayer. And even something as simple as giving thanks, genuine, deep thanks and gratitude for every meal that I had and was able to cook for my family. And I've had a massive shift in the prosperity piece since I've started doing that. I just think people get so much value out of these calls that we actually need to also place a value on it. So good people, you know, like Karen, Laura Jane, Sandra, and anyone else who's, you know, giving significant amount of times can have some reward back for all the value they're giving away. There is no such thing as a free lunch, really.
Thank you, Sherry, for being here. I appreciate your words, and so great to hear about the shifts and the newness coming into your life as well. It's beautiful. I love that. Yes, Olga. It's really all about buying whatever we want to buy. There's moments where we get to have anything we want, so long as we're buying it from a place of, you know what, I want to celebrate. So long as it's a high vibrational way of being, that is really going to serve you. See, a lot of people buy wine because they want to hide from their negative emotions. They want to forget about a negative experience. And that really suppresses prosperity. And any time that we're closing our hearts down, we're trying to, you know, hold back feelings of hurt or guilt or shame, we're also closing the heart to prosperity when we do that. So yes, you can definitely have a bottle of wine and making sure that you're having it from a place above the line, having it from a place of, yay, I'm so excited. I just want to celebrate and dance. Olga, go ahead.
That's a very good presentation, Karen. And while listening to a presentation, came to my mind a story that happened many years ago, maybe 35 years ago. It was the time that my mother was visiting us. We always lived back home in that time, Yugoslavia. And then a friend of hers also visited her son here in Toronto. But her son was like, even before he came, he was a big troublemaker. He used to drink a lot, and he continued while he came here. Yeah. So here is these two women talking, and I'm sitting here and listening their discussion. And now she talks about how her son bought this coffee table, and she's explaining that coffee table in every detail, how beautiful it is. I know the man, where all this positivity comes from. There was no bad word said. But now, many years later, when I remember that story and I learn more about consciousness and spirituality and all that, they go, yeah, she left a positive impact to us, but she's going to visit many other people. And she's going to talk about the coffee table, how beautiful that is. And that's all positivity. Anyways, fast forward, the man formed family, became businessmen, and did very, very well. So this is my story, how positivity is affecting us in many different ways. In the last meeting about the Sovereign Association, you mentioned about the process. It's not like you sign today and you worry about the benefits you receive, but rather that is a longer process that we go through training, through finding out and so on. And when the time comes, we will worry longer about benefits. But this part, this process is to be discussed more, I think, amongst the people. So people are more comfortable with the idea, like, yeah, I want to learn more about it. And one more thing, I know the team that worked on this one worked hard. And I think people want to hear, or all of us want to invite to help. Like, okay, you look after this part and you look after this part, or let's enlarge. I know often I also work with a group. We never learn that we should say, how can I help? We are waiting to be given the work. Actually, each of us should say, okay, how can I help with the whole thing? How much work is out there?
Thank you, Olga. That's awesome.
Look at this. And this is how we build up.
Yes, yes. That's self-leadership.
Yes.
Thank
So
you.
I think I've said enough. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Olga, and thank you for sharing your stories. So great. We're very fortunate. We have people who are saying, hey, Karen, Laura Jane, Karen, Hannah, Sandra, how can we help you? And so it is happening, and we're very, very grateful. One of the reasons why we wanted to create the private membership too is, as many of you know, there is a big backlash that happened with our YouTube video in regards to Andrew, Alberta. It was amazing and awesome in many ways. Many people reached out to myself in regards to me speaking in different counties and towns to teach them how to create their private membership association. I think that from that perspective, it was awesome. And I said to Laura Jane that she's going to be coming with me as well. But there are many people who are really waking up right now because of the 15-minute city issue. However, there was a negative backlash, and it's unfortunately still happening. It took about an hour and a half of my time this morning of just sharing what Life First Canada really is. And a lot of people just have a negative connotation wrapped around sovereignty. I just decided to stop, and they can believe whatever they want to believe about Life First Canada. It doesn't bother me at all. But now from this place, and I shared this a couple of days ago with Laura Jane, et cetera, is that because of that situation, there's life lessons in everything. And one of the life lessons is that from now on, anytime we have a recording or any conversation about a town in the future, that video is going to be only showcased in the private membership. And so that is a powerful way to see how important private membership association is for Life First Canada Private Sovereign Association. And it will only be showcased by those who really know the work that we're doing and the why. Because a lot of people are still at that place where they do not understand and they're in fear, and I get it. They are feeling threatened, and to everyone, and Andrew, I'm really sorry that they really did not receive the information in the way that maybe we should have approached it in the first place. So yeah, life lessons all around. Brian.
Good day. you know this is a hot topic for me. And we already had a little exchange of thoughts on this. Seen this subject when I got my invite to the meeting today, and it was kind of interesting as you were going through your presentation. You went through definitions, and this afternoon I'm going through definitions as well. And then I started getting in, like, one of the things that hit me in your message was, say, greed is definitely a trigger for me. And then I started going into 7 deadly sins and even studied all of this stuff as well. And takes me down that little rabbit hole, but it just helps me to clear my mind onto how to combat this kind of stuff. And there's another little trigger. Money is the root of all evil. And I have very, very strong feelings on that I believe money is the root of all evil. All evil really stems from money. The thought process I have in my head, the most guilty people in the world for the corruption in the world, you can measure by how much money they have. That the Rothschilds or whoever else, the wealthiest families in the world, I think, are the most guilty of this global corruption. And there is one other thing I'd just like to end on, this little thing with Andrew. It'd be those people in Andrew coming to this room to see what's going on. And I would hopefully feel like, well, I would hope that if they did come in here, they get a better impression of what we're doing around here. And we're not trying to, control or take over a town or do anything like that. There's a great passion to make a better life for everybody. And I think Andrew is a great opportunity to show how that can be done. And I'm going to yield with that. I'll yield.
Thank you for sharing, Brian. Money triggers a lot of people. When you say that money is the root of all evil, and we just have to look at the Rothschilds, it's remembering too that, I wish I had it here, but there's the pyramid, right? I just received it from this amazing designer. Unfortunately, it's really dark and I can't really read a lot of the text, but he has really done a lot of homework in regards to how much energy is in all the different dimensions of the hierarchical system, the pyramid. So at the very bottom, we know is humanity, human slavery system. And then we move up into government. Government is a very small box, very, very tiny box in this pyramid system. And then we have corporations. We've got Council 300. And then you're going into off-world entities. You're going into off-world realities and dimensions. And everything that is above the government system, they don't care about money. Money is nothing to them. They don't even live in the world of paper money. Their whole reality is about power and control. Money is only in our domain. It's for the human slavery system. It's not for anyone higher than that. That's why I'm sharing. We need to stop looking at money as paper money. They want us to believe that that's what it is, but it's actually just energy. It is neutral. Money is neutral. It is the person in the straw man system that holds the money, that now takes the money and either uses it for the light or for the dark. Same as even within the government system. They all know the powers of the universe. They know what this reality is made of. And it's made of energy. That's what they focus on, is energy. Keeping everyone below the line. That is what they're all about in this pyramid system. So when we unplug and detach money from being evil or anything, money's neutral, has nothing to do with it. It's the human being that is taking that money and using it potentially for controlling other human beings. And it's remembering too that poor people are evil too. It's not just the rich people. It's remembering that evil is when we are below the line. we're in the evil realm, when we're below the line. That is the demon realm. That is the realm that in your mind, when you're angry at your spouse or whatever, and you say, oh, I just want to kill him. That voice, that's the evil voice. Every human being has the evil voice. And we're here to dissolve that voice, to only listen to the voice of our higher self that takes us above the line. As we move forward, it's like, what voice are we choosing to listen to? Because they want that voice below the line to get loud. They want that voice to get so loud. That's why they've got the maid service, assisted suicide, because they know that the distractions and them triggering us is going to keep everyone below the line. And that's what they feed off of. They feed off of our energy, of fear-based consciousness energy. And so the more you are in your prosperity mindset, the more you begin to have peace of mind, begin to trust in yourself, trust in life, and allow for the exchange of this currency, the current, right? Currency to move in and out of your life, right? Then we begin to free ourselves very powerfully. The reason why, again, I brought this up was, yeah, there was only a couple of people through Life First Canada that were questioning about private membership and $10 a month. It's a big conversation in the freedom movements across Canada and across the realm right now. So it's a lot of people are having money issues. And so I wanted to really speak into money today because it's a really important topic. And if we're going to step into freedom, we need to really step into having a prosperity mindset. Amelia, go ahead.
Oh, just a couple comments that I just wanted to make. You were talking about Andrew, and I don't know the whole story, but my first impression that I got was, I think the intention when you addressed it, for me, the intention was so good. Yeah. And I think you attract a lot of people because that's what people are looking at. And there's always, from my experience in groups, there's always somebody that's going to poo-poo things, or there's the saboteurs or whatever you want to call them, et cetera, et cetera. And I think it's easier to exclude them and find out very quickly, okay, who are these people? And let's move forward with it. Because I think the idea is fantastic and it's taking effect everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's people that are telling you about great ideas to move to sort of new earth type ideas, because we want to all get out of this paradigm of everything revolving around money, okay? Which money, you said, is a life force. And I think it's a lifestyle that we're all looking for. We're looking for to be with people of like minds. We're looking for having a better community and support system that isn't plagued by domination control. I think that's the biggest, right? I was looking at this idea and then I was thinking sort of my path and some of the things that I've gone through, because I've worked for large corporations and I'm also now just working for myself and going through my own process. And one of the things that I found going through this whole process with money is your intention always has to be that you are good at what you're doing, you're worthy, and you're happy. Because if you're not having, also the money part comes also with being rounded. So you're self-care, you're self-reliant, you're self-responsible, and you're self-happy. You have to understand how to bring your energy up. And I'll give you an example, because nobody can be perfect in life. You know, you get hit with certain things in families or friends, et cetera, but you just go through. And one of the things that I did last week, and I thought, okay, I got to test this really, really high excitement, add excitement to my week, kind of just pull it out. And it's automatically your energy goes very, very high. When I went into any office, I brought the energy high. I was joking around, et cetera, and everything got attracted. So I had an amazing week. And I thought, it's easy. It's really easy. Anyone can do it. Just do it for a couple of days. It doesn't matter. Just everything. And the other thing that happens is a lot of synchronicities happen when you're in that state. It's just a constant reminder that it's all tied together. Everything is tied together. And if you aren't content, then find out why you're not content. Where is it? Is it something small? Is it something big? Do you need to discuss something? Be truthful with yourself first and then move forward. And I always have this little motto that I always use. And I said, I'm happy, I'm healthy, and I'm abundantly wealthy. And just to remember, always have happiness and excitement in your life. Yeah. You've got to bring yourself up. And it's hard sometimes going through all these changes, but I think that's really where we need to go. I think also finding like-minded people like this, like your whole organization is a like-minded system, which really, really helps to support other people and saying, oh, okay, now I know where I land and now I know where I am. It's really lovely. And it really, when I come out of those meetings with you guys on Monday, I always feel really content. I'm thinking, okay, it's moving forward. Yeah. And it takes a little bit of time because, we all have to take a look at how we do all this. It's all new to all of us. And we're creating ourselves. So the most important thing is being very creative with good energy. And I think that would be the big success story. And automatically everything around money and around projects getting done will happen very quickly. Statement that I wanted to make.
Beautiful. I love it. Yes. Yes, it's connecting to our inner creator. Getting back to what you talked about in the beginning in regards to Andrew. We had over 7,000 people view that video. It was amazing. I would say we got 95%, I think, were positive reviews. It was incredible. The other 5%, the reason why I took the video down was because the critics out there were actually chopping up the video and taking pieces of the video. And so I really wanted to allow for time to kind of just dissolve the energies and then bring it back up again. But yeah, they were just being really unkind. And I just really wanted to save Wendy from all that messiness that was happening. So thanks, Amelia.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Greetings, Christina. I want to let go of the word hello.
And we have to change our whole lingo. Language is what divided humanity. We think it's it's religion or money or something. It's actually language.
Language.
Language, because we understood each other by symbology and kind of maybe grunts and groans, but telepathy and all these other skills we had. And when we started going blah, 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 Babylon, it created division. And I speak English, someone else speaks Spanish. So it actually that's where division first started in humanity, as I understand it. So the money thing, I wanted to speak to what Brian was saying about the belief that money is the root of all evil. In grade 12, I wrote a paper on that, and that was like the hypothesis. You had to pick on a hypothesis. The thing was called Man and Society. That was the one I picked, and I studied the root of what I thought was the root of the history of money, from the proletariats and the serfs and how land was divided, and the gold, and then the gold standard, and like the history of money. Like I studied it from perspective, and then I realized that of course it's not the money that's the root, but my father at the time was the senior vice president for the largest bank in Canada, and I had a love-hate relationship with that. And so there was, because he was very cheap and he was very much serving the global elites in a way, but very private. And the thing is about the global elites is they're very private, and we have to learn from some of what they're, private. They're not public. They're not in the public. They're in the private sector. So my father was in the private sector. You wouldn't find anything on the internet about him because he's a private citizen. So it's like, I learned a lot in that. But also that it's not the money that's the root, it's that 1% of the population controls 99% of the world's wealth. That's the root of the problem, but it's not the money itself. The money is an exchange. But we are moving away from it as an exchange because we have our gifts, which are greater than any value. I can't put a dollar value on my hour or my time, but that's how we've done it. Time for money, money for time. Money is time, time is money, or whatever. It's not true. It's like, it's just or you have to work for a living. What a stupid concept. Who made that up? How about I'm going to play, because there's so much abundance on this planet if we actually share the resources. So it's really about the distribution of it, and not the money itself at the root. So that was one point I wanted to make. And then another was yesterday, one of our freedom people in the Vancouver area, I've been packing to move today and yesterday and tomorrow. So I thought I need a break, and I went to the coffee shop where he was having a little meeting, because this one place was not taking cash anymore. So they've actually stopped taking cash. Like, oh shit. And it's a coffee shop. I'm going to say what it is, because I think it's important for people to know, because it's also a chain of coffee shops. It's called the 49th Parallel. Now, they're not the only one that's doing this, but there's actually a sign that said no cash, credit and debit only. Well, we know the importance of keeping cash in circulation. So we all went in with our cash, of course, but they weren't taking cash. So it's like, hey, it's legal tender. And they said, we don't have to take it. I said, well, then you don't want our business if I don't have a credit card or I don't have a debit card. And this guy was wearing a mask. So one guy pays cash. He needed to have the exact amount. And what they did was they took the cash and then they used their own credit card to put the thing through. It was like, what? It was like, is that even legal to do? Like, it's like, but what they said is that it's not illegal. There's no law that states they have to take our cash. So there is no law that states they have to take our cash. Okay, fine. So we all came up with you had to have the right amount. They had no change. The person behind him, he gives the right amount in cash. They use their credit card to put the order in, their own credit card. And then the next person goes to spend cash. It was $6. They said, sorry, it was $6. She gives them a 10. Sorry, we have no change. And she says, yeah, but he just gave you cash. And they wouldn't give that change back to her. So she says, well, forget it. I won't be buying anything. And it was like lucky donut. And so it was interesting. I thought, oh, okay. And so what I really got was I was kind of upset about it, thinking, oh shit, like that sort of resistance in my body going, here we are. They know what they're up to. And I think one of the things is that if this is happening, and it's happening in Vancouver, that we have to really look at this, because if these are chains that start doing this, and then the grocery stores start doing this, which is next, we're in trouble here as far as that goes, because they won't take our cash. So you can see how the machines are changing. Yes. And so I'm opening this as a possible discussion at some point, because I think that this best strategy is not to get upset about it. And we could go and have our meetings at that coffee shop every Saturday, and we're just going to go in there with our cash. But I think what's even more important is to educate them so they know why it's not a good idea what they're doing, because they really don't know.
Thank you, Christina. I always appreciate your words and what you have to share. The unfortunate thing is that the banks are going to stop making cash. They're already taking out ATM machines in the US and Europe, etc. And so it won't even be up to the coffee shops or the restaurants anymore. Just cash will not be available, right? They're just going to stop making it. But so that is a powerful conversation that we're definitely going to have in the future to really prepare ourselves as well moving forward. Yeah, it's a new reality that we're stepping into, right? As Amelia said too, we've shared this quite a few times. It's in the crossing over the bridge into the private domain. We've never been there before. The elites have, but this is all new to us. So we need to learn how to play the game so that we're not stressed out about it. Because it is a game that they're playing, and we need to just, it's chess, right?
And on the flip side of that, there's two things that as we go towards the new earth, let's call it sanctuary, the new earth society, we might want a cashless society too, in a sense.
Yes, absolutely.
So, right. And the same thing with you will own nothing and be happy. Well, that's not a bad thing. I don't need to own it. But then if I don't, who does? We know that that's not exactly what they mean, but there's the beauty of both of those statements in that if we have cashless, we're exchanging our gifts and we're always going to be taken care of. That's the ultimate. The new currency is relationship.
Absolutely, it is, Christina. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. We're not going to have to worry about money in the future. That's what the whole prosperity mindset is all about. Thank you. Thank you. Wendy.
I only see prosperity for Andrew. It's happening. It's organic. It is moving so quickly. Today, another investment came in and 3 more people are waiting to talk with me. We've had more than 20 people have visited the town. People have come to see the houses. People have fallen in love with Andrew. Even though there's been some opposition, we've been able to handle some of that opposition just by a conversation with them and just listening and let them air their grievances or their worries. And then we're able to share some important information with them and a new paradigm. So we've already been offered 3 other properties. Now we know there are 100 properties that are going under in that whole, not just Andrew, but in the surrounding areas as well. So a lot of those properties are held by independent lenders, and those properties are going under. And we have 6 more. Andrew is going to be a pilot project. We have 6 more towns that want to have a vertical farm where you grow food all year round. The properties that we've been offered now, some to rent, 19 acres and another 80 acres. They have homes, there's barns, there's wells there, there's greenhouses on some of them. And so we'll be able to grow food in the greenhouses, on the farms, and in the vertical gardens. There's so much work to be done. And, you know, for every one person that we've had that perhaps gives some negative feedback, we'll have maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 people who are so enthusiastic about Andrew. Let's get started. Where do we begin? The PMA. All I can say is all I see for Andrew is prosperity, 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 and happiness. And at night, I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning all the time. So happy, so thrilled, you know, with what's happening. And the mail that I get, I wish everybody could have the mail that I get. And all of that has come from Life Force Canada. And I just want to thank the people of Life Force Canada that you heard a story of love. Like, we're going to be making money, but we don't care about having a lot of money. What we care about is starting more and more businesses to do good, to revive the little town, to have, you know, quality businesses that do good work and that help the people in the community. We want our plan to be inclusive of all the people in Andrew, so that everybody sees that this is the way of the future. This is the way that Canadians have always wanted to live. And this is a way to accomplish that. And so all I see is goodness and prosperity for Andrew. Honestly, I hardly give any attention to the negativity. I'm too busy with the goodness. I'm too busy with the enthusiasm. So I just wanted to share that with you about prosperity.
Yay, Wendy. I love your attitude. Excellent. Yes, I did see some of the videos in regards to you speaking at the town council, and you just handled everything so calmly. Excellent.
I'll do better next time, though, because I learned a lot.
I bet you did.
About words and talking off the cuff and being, you know, not really prepared, you know, for everything I was going to say. So we made mistakes, but we're learning from our mistakes. And all human beings do make mistakes. And what you can do about that is just try to fix it and do better next time.
Beautiful, Wendy. Bravo to you.
Thank you very kindly. Thank you.
I'm actually going to be in the Edmonton area. I'm speaking at a health conference April 16th weekend. I do believe I'll be able to drive over to Andrew too that weekend as well.
Fabulous. That's great.
Yeah.
I'd love to share that with you.
Hello, True Guy. I keep missing you and your music. I see your posts.
Hola, everyone. Yeah, wonderful, great subject. I have to say that I would like to just echo what I wrote a little something on the chat, and I'm just gonna start off by just echoing that, and just prosperity as energy requires a deep level of trust and surrender to what truly makes one happy as a creative being. When creativity comes from the essence of our joy and sense of purpose, then creative expression becomes a true act of service. And we all have unique gifts of service, which ultimately is our most valued currency of exchange. And how money fits into all of this is beyond the logical way in which we've been conditioned into the role that money plays with how we manifest our prosperity. And some of the things that this makes me think about is the psychology of money, the psychology of prosperity, and how it's so intimately involves our relationship to materiality. So when we speak of money as energy, I mean, all of the discussions that I've heard go on with Life Force Canada, which have always been quite wonderful, and this emphasis of energy, is that this is the huge shift of our psychology that's taking place. Is that we are so attached to what appears to be the limitations of our materiality, and how money is so intimately connected to that. And that's why I think there's so much fear around it, so much sense of that there's so much limitation connected to it, especially in a society, in a world that has demanded of us that we actually exchange our labor for money. And yet it is our labor, especially our labor of love, that is the true currency of exchange that brings prosperity to everybody. And so for myself as an artist, as a performer, and so on, is that most of my life, actually my prosperity has been through the joy of what I do, and through sharing that joy, receiving prosperity through the exchange of where I bring it. And that has been, it hasn't left me with a big bank account at all. In fact, my whole relationship to financial abundance has often been very limited. But the exchange experience of my energy with the world has brought me tremendous prosperity. And so I just wanted to share some of this, because I do find that, and even for myself, I mean, I was raised a Catholic. I had the whole concept of money as the root of all evil, and all that sort of thing. And it took me many years to get to a place in which, of course, I do totally agree that it's not money that is evil. Technology is not evil. It's how it's all being used that makes it ultimately something that can be evil. So I just wanted to share some of that, and that our work of transformation is this whole shift in our consciousness in relationship to even what prosperity can feel like in the exchange of our energies with each other. So for what it's worth, I hope that shines some kind of joy or insight into what we're discussing.
Beautiful, true guy. Yes, I believe everyone is allowing your words to integrate into their cells. Beautiful, loving words. Thank you, true guy. To share a little bit about myself. So prior to COVID happening, this whole pandemic thing, I was making 6 figures in my corporation. And the amazing thing is that because I was doing what I love to do, I was in abundance, financial abundance. And one year I decided, you know what, I'm going to go on a cruise, for I'd never taken 1 month off. And the amazing thing is that because I was on a holiday, I was playing, I was laughing, I was in joy. My mom was with me and I was taking care of her, and we were having so much fun. And my dad was with me, and my mom and dad were not even married. My stepmom had passed away and my stepdad passed away in the same year. So here's my mom and dad coming together as friends for the first time and traveling with my brother and I. And we did this whole Panama Canal cruise. And during that 1 month, I made more money in that 1 month that I had done in the previous year in my business. And I wasn't even working. Right? Mm-hmm. I was playing, I was creating, I was in joy. And so this is one of the reasons why I wanted to have this conversation, is because that is the realm that's already here. The 5D consciousness, I do believe Dr. Claire and Carol mentioned about love in the chat. It is love. Love, as True Guy said, love and joy, everything above the line is what we're being called to embrace right now. And when you're in that frequency, you don't even have to think about money. You don't have to think about cash. You don't have to think about it whatsoever, because you're in a vibration that is flowing with universal consciousness, and the universe is here to take care of all of us. Mm-hmm. We are here to be in an abundant lifestyle, all of us. And so again, as True Guy mentioned, right, it's the programming, the psychological programming that we just need to shift for ourselves, and the worthiness, and it's even beyond deserving, because you are a magnificent divine being. And so it's remembering that our thoughts are extremely powerful, and we're going to be stepping into such a beautiful reality as we move forward. And it's just making sure that our heart is open, right? Keeping our heart open. It's a journey.
This morning, I met a gentleman through the worldwide men's group that I attend, and he was working with a company in Saskatchewan and was actually dealing with billions of dollars, and he was making a huge amount of money, and he was offered this very high position. And when he was really reflecting on it, his soul was speaking to him on such a deep level that he actually let it all go, and he didn't accept the new position. And then he was called through his own inner guidance and so on to actually start creating these new kinds of technology that was going to help people to heal on various levels in terms of depression, physical health, and so on. And I was asking him a question in connection to music and sound, and said, is there anything that you're doing with this technology where music can be added to it to augment the experience of what this technology is bringing? And he said to me, oh, yes, indeed. And so I actually contacted him today and sent him one of my songs. And his wife is also intimately connected with the work they do. And she got back to me and her response was, love it, love it, love it. Let's play. And there was no, and part of what he also does is that he gives some of this technology away to people, especially the people who don't have the funds to be able to access it, but really could use it. And so I just loved the fact that, I shared what I did, and then he and she responded with this idea that, yes, let's keep this, as much of what you were just saying, Karen, is let's keep this energy of play and engaged, and how we can change the world from sharing the joy of what we're creating, and trusting that whatever resources are required to have this prosper and manifest on even greater levels is going to become available.
Yes.
And so I just wanted to say that, because it was so thrilling to have that kind of exchange with these two people.
Beautiful. And that's exactly what it's going to be, True Guy. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yes. Love it. Love it. And And just to let you all know, I dissolved my corporation just to be here with all of you. Amazing, amazing, beautiful souls. Everyone, this is such an incredible opportunity for all of us to really step up into our true power. We are going to be the ones, Life Force Canada and everyone in the freedom movements are going to be the pioneers moving forward as we take the path from the public domain into the private. It is a journey. We've never been here before, but we are here. We are going to be the ones educating all of those people in those towns and counties. Thank you, everyone. Together we rise. You are so amazing. Love to all of you.
Thanks, Karen. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you,
Good
Karen.
Night.
night.
Night, everyone.
Night.
Thanks.
You're amazing, Karen. Thank you.
Thank you.